Back in September of 2018, I did a video where I beat Pokemon Red with just a Weedle. And that video did very well, a lot of you seem to really enjoy it, so I thought I'd finally make the sequel to that video. Man, I really need to make Pokemon videos more frequently. I mean, I'm a bit of a fan. Today, the mighty Bongzilla returns to crush the second generation of Pokemon under the might of his poison sting. I have nearly as much nostalgia for the second generation of Pokemon as I do for the first generation. I was 9 when this game came out, and I'll never forget playing through this game for the first time. I got Pokemon Gold for my 10th birthday about a month or so after its release, and I just so happened to be ill at the time. So yeah, I spent a week or so in bed playing Pokemon. I may have milked the illness a little bit to stay off school longer. Whenever I think of this generation, I just think of me laying in bed playing this game with my Red Dwarf videotape rolling in the background. The game brought in new stuff that blew my 10-year-old mind, like the day and night cycle that goes on real time. It was crazy to me that the time of day in the real world was reflected in the game. Something small like that doesn't seem like much of a big deal, but it just gives this, I don't know, warmth to the game. It's like wrapping yourself in a giant duvet. But anyway, enough of me going on like an old person at a nursing home telling you about how good the old days were. What changes in this generation affect Bongzilla's ability to get through this game alone? In the second generation of Pokemon, they split the special stat into two categories, special attack and special defense. So let's see how this split has affected our boy Weedle. Here's his stats in the first generation, and here's his stats in the second generation. Wow, there's such a massive shift in his stats. Weedle is definitely someone who benefited from the special split. Joking aside, one thing that will actually help us in the second generation of Pokemon is what they've done with Struggle. In my first Weedle run, the fact that Struggle was a normal move caused me a lot of problems when I had to deal with Ghost and Rock Pokemon. But in this gen, Struggle became a typeless move, which means in this run, Weedle can now hit Ghost Pokemon with Struggle, which is a godsend. Because the whole reason that Agatha fight in the first video was so hard was because I had to use bloody Poison Sting on the fucking ghosts. And it's lucky too, because there's a Ghost gym in this gen that I honestly think would have been nigh impossible without this change to Struggle. And Struggle now, instead of inflicting half the damage dealt on the opponent onto you, only inflicts a quarter of the damage done to your opponent onto you, which is lovely. And the inclusion of an XP meter that tells you how far you are from leveling up is a lovely quality of life feature that I fucking would have loved to have had in the first run. And another thing that changed in this gen is Weedle's place in the pecking order. He's actually no longer the weakest Pokemon in the game. The new weakest Pokemon is... Sunken. Well done, Weedle, I'm so proud of you. But joking aside, Sunken can actually learn more than just 2 moves. So it's actually nowhere near as bad as Weedle, but hey, let me know if you want me to try and beat the game with Sunken someday maybe. The rules are the same as they were in the last video. I will be using Weedle and Weedle alone in combat, no switching to get rid of status effects or straight up using other Pokemon, because, you know, that would be way too fucking easy. But again, I will be using extra Pokemon as HM bitches, and I will again be using my Raspberry Pi with a ROM of Pokemon Gold that I've edited using the Pokemon Randomizer like before, and this thing actually works on all the games up to the DS Pokemon games, so that's definitely something for the future. Wink wink, nod nod. So, let's do this again. Why am I doing this to myself?
This idea is dildos.
So once I've named myself and gotten the usual Professor Oak spiel, it's time to pick up my #1 bug boy. But I first meet this game's rival, and he really earns the name I'm going to give him in this first meeting. Seriously, what a big pig! And it's time to get the best goddamn boy. Wait, oh, he's a girl. It may say that he's a girl, but he identifies as a man, so there you go. Still the best boy. With the #1 bug boy obtained, we've now got to go run an errand for Professor Elm. We have to pick up a Pokemon egg from Elm's friend, and I seriously don't get how it's taken them this long to figure out how Pokemon reproduce. I mean, Professor Oak, who's here for this grand discovery, has supposedly been studying Pokemon for his entire life, and he still hasn't figured out how Pokemon breed. It seems like one of the first things someone studying an animal would do. He's clearly a fucking hack. But with the egg in hand, Elm informs us that, shock horror, the lab has been robbed by, yes, you guessed it, our rival for this game. And we get to meet this charming man on our way back from the errand, and he might be more of a cunt than Gary or Blue or whatever you want to call him from the first game. I love the theory that this guy is Giovanni's son. I mean, it did basically get confirmed and you can see the resemblance, look at them side by side. And it really explains his hatred for Team Rocket. And the battle with him is the first real battle in the game, and this battle showed me that I'd actually made a little bit of a boo-boo by selecting the last Pokeball at the beginning of the game. Because that spot is usually where Chikorita would be, so it gave my rival Cyndaquil, which is the worst starter I could have gave my rival. And that small blunder will cause me a world of hurt later on. But with that trivial fight out of the way, it's back to the lab to help the police track down this guy, and this is where we get to name our rival. And I think this is a really cool way to name your rival, and if you watch the first Weedle video, you already know what I'm going to call him. He's 100% earned that title. With that bollocks out of the way, we move on to the first gym leader in the game, Faulkner, who uses flying Pokemon. And you would maybe assume that this guy would be a bit of an issue because Weedle is weak to flying Pokemon, but it's so early in the game that it doesn't really cause us too much trouble. He has a level 7 Pidgey and a level 9 Pidgeotto, so nothing too mental or anything. On my first 2 attempts, Bongzilla was at level 13, which I thought would be enough to take this guy down. But I was mistaken, as Pidgeotto's Gust was just doing too much damage for me to beat him. So I buggered off to the Bellsprout Tower and cleared that out, and then I level grinded for a little bit and got Weedle up to level 17, and I tried to take Faulkner on again. And this time it went a little bit better, as Pidgeotto's Gust was still fucking me up, but it was basically taking just under half of my health. But I just so happened to poison him with my first poison sting, so I just healed up until he died, getting the occasional poison sting jab in. And that's it for the first gym. That's definitely a step down from the hell of Brock in the last run. But trust me, this run does get harder. Oh, does it ever. After grabbing the Pokemon egg from Elm's assistant, we're off to Azalea Town to take on Bugsy, who I honestly always thought was a girl. But when I was looking up shit for this video, I found out it's a boy. I can't be the only one that thought this was a girl.
Tall as a willow, slender as a reed, a dude.
But in Azalea Town, we also get to put an end to an illegal black market of chopping off Slowpoke tails and selling them. Who the fuck could harm poor retarded Slowpokes? They're like the golden retrievers of the Pokemon world. Fuck you, Team Rocket. But with that black market trade shut down, I headed to the bug gym and proceeded to make Weedle kill tons of his family. Cause, you know, I'm a fucking monster. You kill that Beedrill, Weedle, you're better than that. You're like Ash's Pikachu. Better non-evolved, baby. With the lesser members of the bug family disposed of, like Caterpie. Ugh, I spit on Caterpie. Puh. Pro Jared, how dare you like that inferior bug better than Weedle? I then took on Bugsy, and he was pretty easy to be honest with you, but Bugsy is the first gym leader in the game with a gimmicky new move. In this case, it's Fury Cutter. But luckily for Weedle, this move is fucking shit. All it does is gain more attack power every time it's used. But it starts at such a feeble level that it's kinda useless. Bugsy is packing the squad of a level 14 Metapod and Kakuna, and a level 16 Cypher. Is that really the best Pokemon they could have gave him? Sure, Cypher is fucking awesome, but Kakuna and Metapod? Really? Why didn't they give him 2 better bug Pokemon like Spinarak or Pinsir? Bug Pokemon are really slighted by Game Freak, aren't they? Kinda takes the piss really when you consider this whole game series is based on one of the creators' experiences bug catching as a kid. Anyway, on my first attempt to beat him, I fucked up a little bit and went in packing Poison Sting when I really should have went straight for the struggle. It was all good until I came up against his Cypher, which only killed me because it took me so long to take it down with the Poison Sting, and the Fury Cutter just got overwhelmingly strong. But on my second attempt, I move wasted beforehand, so I had struggle ready to go. And this time I killed Cypher like the weak ass bitch he is. And with that, we have 2 gyms done already. That was almost too easy. But the first big roadblock is about to happen very soon. And remember when I said that I'd fucked up by making my rival have a Cyndaquil? Well, I was talking about this fight right here. A cunt is using a level 12 Ghastly, a level 14 Zubat, and the main problem, a level 16 Quilava. The Ghastly and the Zubat of course cause no trouble, but the Quilava does. The issue is that obviously Weedle is weak as shit to fire, and Ember is of course a special base move, which is bad because Weedle's special defense stat is fucking terrible, which will constantly haunt us through this entire run. At level 24 with Weedle, Ember is doing roughly just over half of my health with every hit. I mean, I could have restarted the run so he had a Pokemon that's easier to take down, but I'm a Spartan and...
This is Sparta!
So after my first attempt to beat a cunt, I thought maybe I should go level grind for a bit. After roughly 2 hours of level grinding in the Slowpoke well, I managed to get Bongzilla up 3 fucking levels. Seriously, fuck my life. And I tried to fight again. And this time, instead of bodying Weedle in 2 hits, it now killed him in 3, which gave me enough time to kill him handily, beating the redhead Git. With him taken care of, now we must head through the Ilex Forest? Ilex Forest? I don't know how to fucking say it. Someone in the comments will probably say I said it wrong, like when they fucking said I said Maggie Carp wrong. Fuck you, I'll say it how I want to say it. I'm only joking. I probably did say it wrong. Anyway, in the forest, I get to chase around a Farfetch'd. Man, I really want a Farfetch'd on this run. Such a good boy. And I also picked up another HM slave, a Oddish that I named not Weedle because it says here in its Pokedex entry that Oddish is the weed Pokemon. No, he's not the fucking weed Pokemon. Fucking Weedle is the fucking weed Pokemon. It's in his fucking name, you cunts. Oh! Anyway, we're now in Goldenrod City, home of Whitney, the normal type gym leader crybaby, who's the first gym leader in Pokemon history to not give you your badge right away, because you're a meanie or whatever. What is she, a fucking millennial at university or something? Do you want a participation badge while we're at it? But she's not the last gym leader in the game to somewhat break the damn rules because they can't hack losing. God, it's like playing FIFA with my brother all over again.
God damn it, Scott!
And Goldenrod City is where I can pick up my X items that will make things a lot easier for me, which is nice. After clearing out all the trainers in the general area and level grinding with Weedle for a little bit, he is sitting at a swole level 32 and I was feeling confident that the battle with Whitney would be pretty easy, so I just went for it. Whitney is packing a level 18 Clefairy and a level 20 Milk Tank. The Clefairy of course ain't shit, but the Milk Tank is pretty bulky and comes packing Whitney's gimmick move rollout, which is much like Fury Cutter. It gains more power after each consecutive use, which is actually pretty dangerous given the fact that it's a rock type move which is super effective against Bongzilla. But I still managed to beat her in 2 attempts. I could have easily done it in 1 attempt by just using Struggle and some X attacks. But I thought I wouldn't waste money when I can just beat her unboosted with Poison Stings and a little bit of luck. On the first attempt I just got unlucky and Milk Tank's rollout just got too powerful and killed me. But on my second attempt I got the poison off early and she just kept missing in the middle of her rollout cycle, stopping it from getting 1 hit kill powerful. And she was done. Badge 3 is ours. With that out of the way, let's move on to Ecruteak City? God, I'm gonna get so many comments about how I said all these fucking names wrong. Where the 4th gym leader Morty is with his annoying fucking ghost Pokemon. Thank God I can hit these bastards with Struggle in this gym. After getting Bongzilla to level 35, I thought I would test out Morty's power level to see just exactly what I'm up against here. Morty has a level 21 Ghastly, 2 Haunters, 1 at level 21 and another at level 23, and to finish off he has a level 25 Gengar. I naively thought that I'd have an easy time with this battle because I can now hit ghost Pokemon for a decent amount of damage with Struggle, but this was still a challenging fight. The Gengar line of Pokemon still pack annoying moves like Lick and Hypnosis, but those moves aren't what make this fight hard. The move that makes this fight hard is Curse, another gym leader gimmick move. I'm starting to see a pattern here with gimmicks. But this move at the cost of half of the user's health will curse the opponent, causing them to lose a quarter of their health at the end of every turn. Which makes winning this fight a bit of a cunt, because Gengar will be using Shadow Ball that combined with the curse damage takes half of my health, which means I'll just get stuck in a super potion loop till death, or Gengar will just flat out put me to sleep and kill me with Dream Eater. Oh, and also add into the fact that Shadow Ball can lower our special defense and you have the recipe for a fucking shit sandwich. My first attempt was basically what I just described. Gengar put Weedle to sleep and Dream Eatered him to death. Then on my second attempt I thought that it would probably be a good time to start using X items, so that I can take down the Gengar as quickly as possible later in the fight. But on the first Haunter in this attempt I fucked up and I didn't heal up as soon as the Haunter was sent out, and I couldn't heal enough damage so that I could actually get a hit on Haunter without dying. And I was also paralysed, which of course didn't help. And on my third attempt I thought I'd kill the Ghastly as quick as possible to avoid the paralysis, as I didn't want to waste a turn getting rid of that if I didn't have to. But alas, in a similar fashion to the last run, the Haunter just managed to get me once again. On my fourth attempt Gengar got me with Shadow Ball, then in a bout of annoyance I thought maybe it would be a good idea to level grind for a little bit, so I'm dishing out more damage. Now at level 38 I try Morty again and I unsurprisingly have better luck this time. I managed to get 4 X attacks set up on the Ghastly, and after wrecking through the Ghastly and one of his Haunters I get a stroke of absolute luck on the Gengar. I managed to get a free heal up because for some reason he used the useless move of Mean Look, which gave me enough time to kill him. He did try to put me to sleep, but luckily for me it missed and I killed him. I have no doubt in my mind that if that Hypnosis would have hit, this attempt would have been over. Sometimes RNG will help you. Not very often though. But with the Gengar out of the way, I've only got to take care of his last Haunter, which Bongzilla does handily, and that's the ghost type gym over with. And on the way to Olivine City, I caught myself a Farfetch'd, cause, you know, I said I would earlier and shit, and I called her Best Stuck. I forgot to do the rival battle in Critique City, so I quickly went back and took him down, and he comes packing a level 20 Haunter, a level 22 Quilava, a level 18 Magnemite, and a level 20 Zubat. I did him in one attempt and it was pretty damn easy. I didn't even X-attack up, I just killed all his Pokemon with struggle. But anyway, in Olivine City we have Jasmine, the Steel-type gym leader, to beat, but we have to go get medicine for the Ampharos that's running the town's lighthouse before she'll fight us. So off to Cianwood City we go to fight the fighting gym leader, Chuck. Finally, the fighting gym gets a real gym, none of this fake gym shit like in Kanto. And Chuck has a level 27 Primeape and a level 30 Poliwrath. And as you might guess, the gym is actually pretty easy for Bongzilla. Cause fighting is not very effective against our boy, his Poliwrath does have Surf, but it doesn't do enough damage to cause any problems. It would take him 3 hits worth of it to kill me. So I just poisoned him and healed up until the poison did its work. And there you go, badge number 5 was ours. After giving Jasmine the medicine, the number 1 bug boy can destroy him some steel type Pokemon. This gym would have been way hard if Struggle was still a normal type move, but thankfully it's not, which makes things a lot easier. This fight could have easily been Brock 2.0. Jasmine has 2 level 30 Magnemite and a level 35 Steelix, which I always thought was a fucking awesome Pokemon. I always loved Onix in the first gen, and Steelix is such a cool evolution. I thought I'd try an unboosted attempt on Jasmine just to feel her out a little bit, but that ain't happening because Steelix is just far too beefy. So I grabbed my performance enhancing drugs and headed back for the second attempt. And I set up my X attacks on the Magnemite, which is actually a bit of a nuisance because the bastard can use Thunder Wave, Supersonic and Thunderbolt, which does a fuck ton of damage due to Weedle's awful special defense. But I managed to get all set up. But the Steelix still managed to get me because Iron Tail has a 30% chance to lower Weedle's defense, which practically makes beating Steelix impossible if this happens early on. But I was also still confused from the bloody Magnemite and Weedle killed himself. Great. So on the third attempt I thought I'd chuck on both X attacks and X defends, as the X defends will help deal with the Steelix and its annoying as fuck Iron Tail attacks. But when I was going in for the kill on the Magnemite, I accidentally hit myself with confusion and died. But with the fourth attempt I actually managed to get everything set up before the Steelix came out, and as an added bonus I wasn't confused thanks to a berry. And I took out the Steelix like it was nothing, even with the computer putting hyper potions on it. I one-shotted the Magnemite and that was badge 6 down, and I've only got 2 more gym leaders and the Elite 4 to go. After taking care of the red Gyarados at the Lake of Rage, which is I think most people's first experience with shiny Pokemon, and also defeating the Team Rocket base in
Mahogany
Town with the help of our good old buddy Lance. Now we have to take care of the 7th gym leader, the Ice Gym Leader Price. And I always hated this gym because you have to navigate this icy floor puzzle shit to get to the trainers, and I'm a fucking numbskull when it comes to puzzles. But anyway, Price has a team of a level 20 Seal, a level 29 Dugong, and a level 31 Piloswine, which again I always thought was a really cool looking Pokemon. But I do kind of find it weird how Bryce's team is weaker than the last gym leader's team. God knows why. But much like Chuck, Price's Pokemon just aren't doing enough damage to Weedle to cause any problems. And I easily swept Price aside unboosted with just Weedle's poison stings. Man, what a pushover. Well, to be fair to him, he's just some old dude. I should probably cut him some slack. With him out of the way, the only gym leader in my way is the Dragon Gym Leader Claire in Blackthorn City. But before that, I must traverse the ice path.
Welcome to intermission. Intermission.
I always hated that fucking bit. I can't be the only one, right? I mean, I could have just quickly googled it, but I want to figure it out myself, damn it. The rock pushing stuff later on, I never found that taxing. Step aside, Dr. Kawashima. I am the #1 brain boy now. Now we're in Blackthorn City, and there just happens to be a move deleter in town, which will make move wasting to get Struggle a lot less time consuming. Because now I can get rid of String Shot, which saves me wasting 40 bloody String Shots every time I need Struggle. Onward to the Dragon Gym, which has more fucking rock moving puzzles, but it's okay, it's no match for Dr. Makulashima, the brain boy. Pew, pew. Now we fight the last gym leader, Claire, who has 3 level 37 Dragonair and a level 40 Kingdra. This fight is a little bit anticlimactic because I beat her first time. I just X-attacked up and easily took out her 3 Dragonairs. The Kingdra did put up a bit of a fight with a pretty strong Surf, but a nice crit took it out in 1 hit. But much like Whitney, Claire won't give you the badge. She makes you go grab a Dragon Fang from a cave because she can't fucking hack losing. Cunt. With this last badge, the mighty Bongzilla now has a complete set of badges, and we're now heading to the Indigo Plateau to prove once and for all that Weedle is
The cream, yeah. The cream of the crop.
And boy fucking howdy is there one massive roadblock in the Elite 4. God, I'm in for a world of pain. And much like the first run, most of the trouble comes from one Elite 4 member. But before that, we have one last rival battle to take care of on the way to the Pokemon League. And can I just say how nice it is that the cave before the Elite Four is just a straightforward cave with no annoying puzzles, like the fucking Victory Road in the first game. I guess we get a bit of mercy because they wasted all their rock pushing puzzles on the ice path. Thank fucking god. In this last fight with a cunt, he has a level 34 Sneasel, a level 36 Golbat, a level 38 Typhlosion, a level 35 Magneton, a level 45 Haunter, and finally a level 35 Kadabra. And let me just say this battle is easy as shit. You, sir, are an insult to Blue from the first game. His first Pokemon Sneasel is just so shit that I can easily set up my X attacks and then it's for all of his Pokemon. So here we go, it's time for the Elite Four. Like last time, I saved my game before I bought my items because I'll pretty much be spending all my money here. I cannot afford to get the wrong item set up because that could be the run over there if I did it wrong. With that shit out of the way, let's take on the first Elite Four member, this Spider-Man looking fuck who uses Psychic Pokemon. Oh boy, are we in for a hell of a time. And he has two Xatu, one at level 40 and one at level 42, a level 41 Jinx, a level 41 Slowbro, and a level 42 Executor. This is without a doubt the hardest fight in this run, and the main reason is that the first Pokemon he uses, Xatu, is armed with Psychic, which without fail takes about 3/4 of my health every time he uses it. And sure, I could set up my X attacks and take him out in one hit, but the problem with that is, before I can set up enough X attacks to make that happen, Xatu will almost certainly one-shot me with a crit on his Psychic, which is a bit of a problem. And add Confuse Ray into the equation and you've got a very hard problem to solve. And you might be thinking, Jake, why don't you raise your special defense so that Psychic doesn't fuck you up so much? Well, there's actually no way to raise your special defense with an item in this game. The X special item only raises your special attack, which is useless to me. I was honestly pretty fucked after getting absolutely destroyed by Psychic in my first 2 attempts. So I thought it might be a decent idea to do a bit of level grinding so I won't be taking so much damage from Psychic. I managed to get Weedle up 5 levels in that 2 hours. So let's see how much of a difference that makes. I was taking just over half of my health with every Psychic now, but Xatu was still killing me in one shot with the criticals. But I did manage to actually kill his first Xatu by poisoning it and getting lucky enough to not get critted once. But then his second Xatu just came out and mauled me as it did a little bit more damage than the first Xatu. So after those 4 attempts, it's back to the grind. This time I got 5 levels for 3 hours. But the payoff for 3 hours of tapping A is that Weedle can now take 3 hits from non-critical Psychics, which is fucking awesome. But it still doesn't make this fight in any sense easy. At this level I was reliably able to get past the first Xatu with a little trouble, but it was the second Xatu that was a bitch. Because I would usually be confused and sometimes my special defense would be lowered from Psychic, which certainly doesn't help. After 7 attempts on this level I decided to hit the grindstone once more. Now at level 80 I try in vain again, and the main problem is honestly getting confused by the first Xatu. So I thought I better go round up all the bitter berries that I can, which is a berry that gets rid of confusion. I had one earlier but I used it already. I really didn't know I'd need them this much. That seems to be a theme with my runs, doesn't it? Nonchalantly using things that I will later need really fucking badly. There's only 3 in the Johto region of the game and I had already used 1, so there was only 2. And I could only find one of them. Honestly, I couldn't find the one that's supposed to be in Blackthorn City. But fuck it, 1 should be enough. And you know what? I actually finally fucking did it! On this last attempt, I managed to get all my X attacks on without getting bitch slapped by a critical Psychic, and I one-shotted the rest of her squad. Fucking yes! God, that fight was fucking brutal! And this is definitely the hardest fight in the game, but there's definitely something harder in the Game Plus mode. After Will is the Ninja Master himself, Koga, who has a level 40 Ariados, a level 43 Fortress, a level 42 Muck, who is the best boy by the way, a level 41 Venomoth, and a level 44 Crobat. And you can guess how this battle goes. I set up my X attacks on the feeble attacks of Ariados, and then I smash through his squad. 2 down, 3 to go. Next up is Bruno, who is packing a level 42 Hitmontop, a level 42 Hitmonlee, a level 42 Hitmonchan, a level 43 Onix, and a level 46 Machamp. And this battle went exactly the same as the last one. I X attacked up on the first feeble Pokemon and then I one-shotted everything. Next Elite Four member. Next up is Karin, who has a level 42 Umbreon, a level 42 Vileplume, a level 44 Murkrow, a level 45 Gengar, and a level 47 Houndoom. Karin was a little bit more of a challenge than the last two Elite Four members, mainly because of her annoying cunty Umbreon that has Sand Attack, which got me in my first attempt. I would have obviously put a guard spec on, but I kind of forgot to buy one, which made this fight more of a pain in the arse than it needed to be. I could have gone back and got some guard specs, but there's no way I'm doing that wheel fight again, so I just kept at it the hard way. Plus her Houndoom was one-shotting me with Flamethrower, so I need to take care of that git in one hit. But after a couple of attempts, I managed to get lucky and the Umbreon missed a bunch of sand attacks and only hit me with it twice while I was powering up. And even with the lowered accuracy, I managed to take the rest of her squad down. And what she says after you beat her amazingly applies to my run. Strong Pokemon, weak Pokemon. That is only the selfish perception of people. Truly skilled trainers should try to win with their favourites. I like your style. You understand what's important. It's like she fucking knows what I'm doing. And the final battle is with our boy Lance, which is kind of nice because, you know, Lance is practically our bro at this point. Lance has a level 44 Gyarados, 2 level 47 Dragonite and a level 51, a level 46 Aerodactyl and a level 46 Charizard. And it kind of sucks that this last battle is easy as fuck, and it is like Bruno and Koga. I just X-attack up on his first Pokemon and let Bongzilla go on a killing spree. And there we have it. Bongzilla has 2 World Championship belts. This run took me a little bit longer than the last one at 46 hours, and it certainly was a lot more grindy, but overall it was easier because of the typeless nature of struggle in this gem. But wait, there's more. This is the first Pokemon game with a proper post-game. You can go back to Kanto and beat all the original gym leaders and Red. Red was not fucking easy. So let's quickly go through the post-game. You can't kill the Weedle. The Weedle will live on. Lieutenant Surge tried to kill the Weedle, but he failed as he was smite to the ground. Erica tried to kill the Weedle, but she failed as she was stricken to the ground. Sabrina tried to kill the Weedle, but she failed as she was chokeslammed to the ground. Janine tried to kill the Weedle, haha! She failed as she was thrown to the ground. No one can destroy the Weedle. He will strike you down with a poison sting. We are the vanquished foes of the Weedle. We try to win for what we do not know. Misty tried to destroy the Weedle, but the Weedle had its way. Brock tried to dethrone the Weedle. The Weedle was in the way. Blade tried to destroy the Weedle. Weedle was much too strong. Blue tried to defile the Weedle, but Blue was proven wrong. It's Weedle. It comes from hell. After all in the land were defeated, Bongzilla was not yet satisfied. There was still one more that needed to be smited and thrown to the ground. The legendary hero of mystery, Red, who is rumored to be training deep in Mount Silver. And it was there that I found him.
And now, to battle!
And that's that, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video as much as I enjoyed making it. I took all the criticism on board from the first video and I tried to improve, and I hope you enjoyed the results. Let me know if you want to see me do this in the third generation of Pokemon. I mean, if that's what you guys want to see, I'll get on it straight away. Anyway, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you later.